Yeah, it's the flip-flop, so let's talk to Mr. Nonchalant.
I'm Dr. Stobbart.
Bonjour, docteur.
I've not seen him before. That face. Very familiar. Is he not the one who was on guard, when I tried to get into the thing with Nico?
Have you seen any suspicious characters on the ward?
Carchan's
Yes,
place.
I have.
A gorilla and a weasel?
No, this was a tatty old bear.
How's the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a humbug.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
True that.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, doc, right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
Oh, shit.
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I have never seen him before.
Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir, doc.
So let's speak to her. Surely she'll have a mask for me or something. I've already forgot her name. I'm gonna call her Ebony Honey. Come here, Ebony Honey. That fine black booty.
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Is it true that Marquet is suffering from anthrax?
Keep your voice down, monsieur. Who told you that?
The cop at the door.
It's not true. It can't be. Herr Hagenmeier would have told me. Evacuate. That's it. No panic. Women and children first.
Has anyone ever told you how cute you are when you go to pieces? So, what precautions do you intend to take to prevent the spread of anthrax?
My first step would be to burn the bodies.
Burn the bodies?
It won't be easy, I know, but I can do it. Just give me a chance, doctor. Let me burn the patients.
I don't think that would be a good idea, Nurse Grendel.
I'm sorry, doctor, but the other staff put me up to this. It's because you're new, you see. Traditional hospital humor.
Hilarious. So then Marquet hasn't got anthrax?
No, sir.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
At least, you know. At least there's a bit of humour there, you know what I mean? Everyone thinks she's uptight bitch, she's alright. Fuck. You got
Marquet?
in it, eh?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lahmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassin.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grand Master. Quickly tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
You have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them as for Klausner. He has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about the location of the...
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeier was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter!
Get in there, quick.
The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Stand back, monsieur.
Go on, boss. Go for it. Oh, he's got a gun. I thought he was gonna... Yeah,
Hello,
just leaves the
George.
scene of crime.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah. Killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window. Have you ever heard of the Hashi Ashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves. Let's take another look.
Maybe if I say about click on this, he might say...
There's a
about
guy
the...
with between...
Oh, I thought he might have said something about the... Oh, I can't click off, so there's got to be something on there.
A knight, the knights through my teaching. There's a guy. There's a woman, look at the
Look there, 2 guys.
So you have to click everything.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, were you referring to Andre?
I'll let you work it out.
I haven't actually spoke to Andre yet, have I? Croon. Here we go. Is he here? He's here! The dickhead of them all.
I beg your
He's like
pardon.
on the same
Are
level of
you
Rousseau.
Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No, I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobbart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
Lovely.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn! That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived.
But I got the jam.
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
Okay.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Okay.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah, not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman.
Let's ask about everything
Can you
else
tell me
first.
anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Okay.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
Ask about the tripod.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochman tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
Well, don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point. Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language, Assassini, the assassins.
Well, there you go. You learned a little
How did the
something.
assassins get their name?
From the legends surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassin still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
This friend who has the manuscript?
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Lovely jubbly.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
So now do we go tell Nico that we got someone coming to visit her?
Hello, George.
Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
Oh, that we'd already gone
Oh,
through.
by the way, I had a visit from André Lobineau.
Oh, yeah.
That fast?
I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the Knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so.
Right, and so maybe the police.
I'd better get back to the
about
quest.
Maybe breaking. There might be breaking. Or do we have to go and do the breaking?
Sergeant Moo,
Yes.
Here we go.
I'd like to report
Oh,
Yes.
no.
I see.
outside. They stopped.
Could you do...
One look. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon.
See you later, Sergeant.
So we'll go to music crew. Hang on, what was that? No, Fossil. Oh, yes, the gendarme.
Excuse me, officer.
He's
Shouldn't
a
you be
cool
off directing
dude.
traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Let's see what he says about this shit.
Do you know what this is?
Aha! You Americans with your notorious nose candy.
Ah?
I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd wall up your nostrils. It's plaster of Paris.
It is. Thank heaven. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody. Hello?
And we don't want to do that.
You have no idea.
Oh, we definitely don't want that, do we now? So, what? Let's see if you've seen him.
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Oh, manhole.
Hey, you. What do you think you are doing? Leave that cover alone. Now,
Sorry, no harm intended.
you stay away from that.
Is this the board he was on about? It is.
In French, English, and German it read, in 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the knightly order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine.
Oh, that's fancy. So we can go, I'll take it, they lead to the same place. Yep, they do indeed.
I didn't have time to sit around.
Oh, it's in here, but I have to use the tripod and that in it.
A knight, there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved
gem
into the tomb edge to
Well,
guide his
there's
way
a
to the
glass
next
in that,
world.
doesn't it?
I
Or
guess.
something.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout. On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work. A stone knight lay at the end of a row of 4. I wondered if this guy had died in combat.
Okay. So is that everything then, yeah? Well, let's go back to the museum. I thought there was a waitress here, I did. Anyway, museum crew. Yeah, let's speak to Lobano.
Hi, Andre.
You got anything to say?
Hello, Georgie. Hey, I visited Nicole's apartment.
Yeah, she told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
Yeah, fucking creepy ass motherfucker. Surely you're on about the fucking manuscript, yeah?
What did you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
Okay.
What story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras.
Who's he?
A Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No, they're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh.
The spotlight of history moved on. They're probably long dead.
So maybe that's where I go next then.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
No, monsieur. No, no.
Okay. The case contained the tripod shown on the manuscript.
Let's see if this works this time. Or is it later that I do this?
It is closing time, Monsieur
Here
Lobineau.
we go.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, monsieur.
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight.
I push this on him, I think, don't I?
What the? Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
Ha! Ha! What the fuck is that?
And when I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor George.
What a mess. I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
I don't remember that.
You mean
I thought-
it was
oh,
you
shit,
who
her?
stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. And how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod.
Hey, happy days, eh?
Is there something going on between you and Labino?
What business is it of yours? We agreed on this. The clown, the Templars, strictly business, remember?
Yeah, but...
Oh,
So get off my case.
oh, fuck you now, bitch. Calm down, man. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I just, like, George just wants to get his poon. You know, and you're getting all uptight, man. What a fucking biatch. So, do we put it on?
Nothing happened.
Yeah,
The gem fits perfectly, but what does that prove?
maybe the tripod has to be in a certain location.
There's nothing on the manuscript to indicate where, though, is there?
Ha! Stole the tripod.
Let's take another
So
look
let's
at the
these,
manuscript.
right? And he said
There's a
something about
guy with a
Spain.
sword. Between them, there's a guy working. There's a woman, but the reflection. A knight with a knight scroll through my...
Look,
Just how long have you known Labano?
Andre, we met at college. He helped me out when I was a fresher. Showed me around, that sort of thing.
You never told me that before. I thought he was just a working acquaintance.
So he is. I rarely see him these days. You know, he hasn't changed much. A little lesser at the front, perhaps. I'd forgotten how much fun he could be.
I'd better get back to the quest.
Well, on that note then, I will see you on the flip-flop.